tough loss today, but obviously there was a little bit of an altercation there. How did you see it from your team's perspective?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, all losses, you don't want to come in here and lose, but I think our group is still in the early forming stages, and us coming together and, battling against a really, really tough opponent. I thought our guys hung in. We were really good at halftime. We were really good in the timeouts. They knew what the game plan was and what we were trying to get to. And we were trying to, compete against a really, really quality opponent. I'm at the other end of the floor, guys. So my first reaction was making sure nobody was coming off the bench first, which nobody did. And then, time I walked down there, everything would stop. So, and I haven't seen it yet, so I have no idea. And then when I came back, then we've got fans screaming at players, and, it's like all mayhem's breaking loose on the sidelines. So, but I want to praise United. That's a really, really good team. They're very well coached. They get to their stuff. I thought to praise our guys. We stayed in it. We competed. We made a couple of runs at them in the second half. And we competed at a really high level defensively. We offensively, we were pretty efficient offensively. We kept making adjustments, trying to get to their three-point shooters. They really shot the ball well today. Tip your hat to them. And we'll look forward to them coming to Adelaide.
So do you feel as though you've made inroads into the game about a few weeks back?
Well, we definitely played a little different, right? We've had a lot of time off in between games. This group has really been very, very coachable. I can't say enough about Trez and KD and DJ and Ice, the guys that have been here for a while in Adelaide, being open to me, being open to our system, the acceptance of, like, Trez and into the group, our acceptance of still figuring out Jarrell after he's just come back for a little bit. And, there's give and take within that system, within the spacing on offense and with our defensive rotations. Everybody's been really, really connected. They're trying at a very high level, which gives me hope that we keep pushing this thing ahead 1%. And I don't take any negatives away from this loss at all today. Not any. Absolutely not. I'm excited heading into the break. I'm excited for the games after the break. I'm excited to see how good this team can be.
How is Montrez feeling at the moment?
You'd have to ask him. Yeah.
Have you spoken to him?
He spoke to the group. We'll keep that in-house.
Yeah. Was it apologetic or anything like that?
We'll keep it in-house. Thank you.
Mike, you mentioned this team still, coming together. And last time you were here, you mentioned trying to find a new identity as the Adelaide 36ers. Do you feel you've found that identity now, coming into ninth round of the season? Well,
I think every day is still a challenge, right? We're trying to almost rebrand what the Adelaide 36ers stand for in this group. We're 6-5. We got a winning record. We're right in the middle of it. I don't see any negatives at all. We got a really good group that's committed. We can do a lot of different things, and I'm excited to get after it and coach the second half. And I think those guys are ready to keep playing, and we get a chance to compete on a little bit more regular basis. And I think that'll help our group.
Can you talk us through what you want to sort of tidy up over this FIBA break coming in now?
Well, I think as a coach, you're always trying to get better, right? You want to connect your group. It's going to start on the defensive end. The first thing is always going to be your challenge of how you guard the ball, what your rotations look like what your communication is behind it. I think in this day and age when cell phones are so prevalent, it's all about our connection and our communication within the system, and everybody speaking the same language on the same page with the same goal. And that's where we're trying to go.
Not the production off the bench you would have liked tonight, only 12 points compared to Melbourne United's 53. How do you get more out of your second unit?
Yeah, I kind of rode the starters, right? We don't have another game for 12 days or whatever it is. Rode our guys. I wouldn't have taken Trez out. I mean, I was going to ride him the whole second half. KD almost played the whole time. You know, we've been in a situation where we played one game a week for 6 weeks. There's no reason for me to rest guys. Our bench will have to play. Our bench will have to get better. We will have to have more production out of it. I got total confidence in them, but I was riding the horses today.
Is Trez like having a second coach out there, sort of?
I think all of our guys are. Trez has got invaluable experience, and since he's been here, you know, I can't say enough about his commitment to the 36ers and to his teammates and what we're trying to do. He's been exceptionally coachable. He's been open to everything. He's been a good teammate. He allows me to be the hammer, which it should be, and he puts his arm around his teammates and builds them up and says, we can go. And we were walking the game down in the fourth quarter or the third quarter, whenever everything had. I think we got it back to within 5. We were getting it back into striking distance, and that's exactly what you want to do on the road in a tough game and against a really good opponent. Especially when they have that lead that's kind of 12, it's 10, it's 15, it's 12, and start walking them down, and that's what we were doing, and that's real growth for our group.
How proud were you of the guys left on the floor to claw the lead back late in that last quarter?
Well, I'm proud of the whole group. I thought they gave everything they had. Like I said, they've been coachable since day one. They were coachable today. They understood what the assignment was in the fourth quarter, to try to keep, you know, whittling away at this thing. And we had to play faster. We had to do a couple different things where we couldn't go to the post up as much. We had to play pick and roll. We had to play downhill. And we had to get inside out. So we tried to do that. Unfortunately, United kept making some shots on us because they shot the ball really well.
What was the message to the group, I guess, after that altercation? Was it just to stay composed and, you know, stay calm?
There's no message. They huddled themselves up. I was focused on the game. I wasn't worried about that. I'm worried about, you know, the game, the time, the score, the clock, possession-wise, how we could walk it back down, and we did. After that, we did make a run with that group on the floor, and you know, unfortunately, it was a little too not enough, I guess, but. You know, right after that, you saw our group huddled up, and as a coach, and as you're moving the group forward, you know, like 1% every day and trying to get better, you know, they were out there talking. There's nothing I need to say at that moment.
How lighthearted was the performance of Kendrick? You know, you didn't get much production from your bench, but he was really outstanding, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's an outstanding player, very, very talented young man. You know, his future is just so bright. He's 24 years old, second year being a pro. It's the first time he's ever been out of the United States. I can go on. And his growth as a person, probably over this last 3 or 4 months, has been exceptional. And he's going to keep getting better every day. And I just think that, you know, you're just trying to push that thing. We know that he's got a speed advantage out there. We know that he can get to the paint. You know, it's an interesting deal for us to have to play fast early in a possession and then, you know, finding our post-ups a little bit later in the possession, and us always finding that balance. But, you know, his days are going to be really bright in this league or wherever he plays, and we hope that he's a 36er for a long time.
How valuable was his ability to get to the free throw line today?
I think everybody. I think we.
But he also got
right.
hit the head 3 times pretty much.
Yeah, our whole team got to the free throw line, right? You know, I wish we shot a few more, right? We got, how many free throws? 37 attempts, right? 29, 37. We'll take that all the time, right? Almost 40 attempts a game in a fast action. You know, we've got some speed and we have power. We have that a little bit of advantage. If we try to arm wrestle them in the half court, it's their advantage, right? Delhi's going to be all over us and all the things. So I thought us and our ability to try to get to the line was really key for us early on. It slowed the game at times for us to get a set. We just unfortunately, you know, couldn't get back to the three-point shooters in the way we wanted, and we'll have to get better at that.
Just on the fan, are you happy with the separation between the fans and the bench, or does something need to be changed there in this venue?
Well, again, like it was I was sort of in between. So I was looking at our guys while it was going on at the other end. Then I walked down there, and then the time I'm walking back, then something's going on down there. So I literally was sort of in between. So I don't really know what happened, but the time I got there, the fans were screaming at our players and being really, really aggressive for the players. Been in the NBA a long time. I've seen a lot of different fights, But when people that are right in the front row, they cannot do that. They can pay their money, they can cheer, they can yell at us, but as soon as they start putting hands on people, now it's a different game. And from what I saw, they put hands on our GM. So.
And are you happy that the players, I suppose, backed up each other in that instance, and also the GM?
It's great. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a part of our group coming together. I love it. Hostile environment, playing basketball. I don't want to have fights in the game and stuff, but I never want to have that. We want to come here. We want to compete. We want to take it to the point, right to the line, and never cross the line. That's about competition, and I think we all love competition. That's why we do what we do. There's one thing within the lines in the court, right? Whatever happened out there, I saw a lot of guys instigating instead of separating, and that's not good. And then I saw fans instigating, and that's not good. You know, there's one thing on the court, but it can't happen with the fans. Pay your money, and do anything you want. You just can't touch people.
And what was said between you and Dean Vickerman on that?
I love him. He's a great coach. He does a hell of a job. Tons of respect for him, not only coaching against him, but I've known him for a little while. We talked before I even came over. He's one of the guys I reached out to. I think he does a hell of a job. He should be the national team coach here. End of story. He's the best one you got in the league. No disrespect to anybody else. He does a hell of a job.
Mike, you've obviously been in the NBA a long time. How have you sort of settled into the NBL in your first 9 weeks as a head coach?
It's been a hell of a learning curve. Our group's been great. Our ownership's been great. Management's been great. I got a good coaching staff. You know, everybody's been working together to help us kind of turn this thing around to get to where we want to be this year. And like I said a few times, we're excited for the second half of the year.
What have you learned off the back of that as well? You mentioned that learning curve for yourself.
Man, these are a lot of questions. It's kind of hard in the moment, my man. I have a ton of respect for the NBL. It's a hard league. The sellout crowds, the 29-game season, how well prepared every coach is. Road games are exceptionally hard. Sellouts everywhere you go around the league. Everybody with the NBL and everybody that supports this league should be super proud about the product. And we want to be a positive part of that product. And we want to be a really, really good piece. And we're a talented team. And I just think that I have a ton of respect for the coaches and the players and the style of play. And I'm excited for the second half.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay?
Thanks, mate.
You got more?